think Nigerians are not, they are not yet ready. People you are dragging and unwilling people. That's what I'm trying to find out from you.
All right, thank you,
But
sir.
it's not about them being ready. It's about me being convinced that the struggle for the liberation of the Nigerian people is a ceaseless struggle. But I also understand that it's a thankless job. That's what you are referring to. That these people are not ready. Well, we will keep doing what we need to do to get Nigerians to the point where they can totally liberate themselves. I cannot liberate anybody. I can't do it by myself. They have to liberate themselves, but I can help promote the theology that can help liberate them. If you were in South Africa, you probably would have given up by now. If you have been around since 1918 when the ANC started fighting against apartheid, and they didn't win until 1994. So you can imagine how long it took. So I think it's important that we understand that this is a marathon and not a dash or sprint.
I think there's a fundamental issue with Nigeria, and I don't think it is only an Igbo problem. I think what we have in Nigeria is a trust issue amongst the various ethnic group. Because if we are going to look at Showere's antecedents and his gospel that he, of course, has been propagating for the past 6 years, since 2007, this is a man who met with Nnamdi Kanu. This is a guy who has always assured and, he has always been unafraid to push the idea that Nigeria needs to be restructured. And what does he mean by restructuring? His own restructuring is not the type that focuses on fiscal federalism, but his own sort of restructuring is that, splitting of the country that we all seek for, his own way of replacing the Nigeria in that nationality, a Nigeria that captures the individual, majority ethnic groups, like regionalizing it maybe in 6 regions or 8 regions, all. If in fact, whereby we're going to have referendums, do we want to split? But again, you see, the Nigerian people have that serious bigotry against ourselves, and at the end of the day, we always find ourselves playing into the hands of the political establishment, and we are always at the receiving end. Just a few days ago, Sowore, seek for a protest for Delivery to me. We all know that Delivery to me is an obedient guy, and within seconds, initially people were supporting Sowore. Like, yes, this is what we need to do. We need to fight the oppressive system of Nigeria. And I believe these are the reasons why those who have always seek for Biafra, why they've always, wanted to opt out, because they've had enough of the oppressive and the subversive system, of course, and the suppressive system of the Nigerian establishment, which is highly and heavily backed by the colonial masters, of course, which we know is the British Empire. So this issue of protest was going on fine. The protest was supposed to be held on the 10th of December, which was supposed to be, I think, yesterday or so, if I'm not mistaken, either yesterday or 2 days ago. But again, shortly before the protest, Peter Obi was seen going to beg this guy that arrested Billy Farutimi. And within a twinkling of an eye, every person that felt that it was right to protest, started saying that it is right for Obi to go beg Afe Babalola. Then Sowore took to his own Twitter handle to condemn those that went to beg the oppressors. And then that was just the breakup between that nascent relationship, a relationship that was about building up, and all of a sudden, a guy went to beg the oppressors. The man who was trying to push for protests condemned them that we shouldn't have. You don't beg your oppressors, right? When every country that was colonized was seeking, right? When every country that was colonized was seeking for their freedom, there's only one thing that they do. They fought back. Let me tell you, that country that didn't fight for its freedom, until this very day, they are still in that position of being oppressed by their colonial master. I believe you know that country, right? Our country is Nigeria. You have to fight for your freedom for those your captors or your oppressors to take you seriously. I think that is just the rule of the world. That is how the law of this earth works. When you are being bullied, and all you have to do is you keep begging, you beg the bully. Then you are just at the beck and call, at the whips. The bully can just do anything at you, as he likes, at his own whips and caprices. In a certain day, he might just wake up and just look at the time. It's 2 o'clock. I feel like oppressing this guy. Let me oppress him again. Right? So these are the issues. This is why you see that Nigeria will always run to Chatham House, because we're always seeking for validation. And of course, you see that the British Empire has a direct influence on the Nigerian politics. You can see that it is the British colony who wires, controls the progress, the advancement of our country, because we haven't fought for it. When Nigeria was supposed to fight, we were there begging, seeking, negotiating. You seeking for your freedom is it can't be through diplomacy, as people like to call it. People say Peter Obi went to meet Afe Babalola for diplomatic conversations. A man who has now exposed Delefaro to me to the fangs and the scavengers in the world. We can see right now, series of petitions are now filed against Delefaro to me. How many people will this guy go and beg? That's the point. How many people will Peter Obi now go and beg? I am not against Peter Obi, but his process of seeking for, if at this level, Peter Obi doesn't understand that. When you mean new Nigeria, it simply means a Nigeria whereby those establishments will not be regarded anymore. These are old political class. Nobody will regard them again. Nobody will respect them. Nobody will revere them. All the common men will have an equal say. If we think that we will go and start begging the likes of Ibrahim Babangida, Obasanjo, please, sir. No. We have to take that power that has, restarted in their own abode for too long. We have to take it by force, and we must have that conviction. And of course, going back to the issue of the Sowore, Sowore must improve in the manner and approach which he evangelizes, preaches this new Nigeria he envisages. I think everybody at this stage agrees that Nigeria needs to be brought down. The Nigerian current political establishment, cabals, they need to be brought down for a new seed to grow. I mean, when we talk about new seeds, these are people who are son of a nobody and can just go into the world, contribute legitimately to the economy, grow their career, go into politics, apply for political positions, campaign, run elections, a free and fair election whereby nobody will just go and switch off the IRF portal. For us to achieve this system, which is being propagated by either Sowore or Peter Obi, we cannot get it by begging the current establishment, because they will not give it to us. They will not give it to us. When I started this conversation, I said, check out the countries that have gotten their freedom. All of them today who are actually free, and I have exempted Nigeria, by the way, they got it by fighting. No, they didn't get it by let us negotiate. No. When the France citizens, right, when they wanted to break the shackles of, aristocracy, only what's it called, this monarchy and feudalism, the people, right? The people got to a certain level whereby hunger pushed them into revolution. For Nigeria, I don't think hunger will ever push us to revolution. Things that I believe can push us to revolutions are religion, maybe when we have a common front, when we have a revolutionary pastor. But we all know that even our pastors, they've all been monetized, the politicians, unfortunately. So where do we want to belong? That fight between the obedient camps and the Sowore boys is unnecessary. For me, let us look at it from the perspective that we need to liberate this country. Is it possible we liberate this country through diplomacy? We have so many examples out there. Look at those who were propagating, pushing the Oduduwa Nation Republic. They were going through the diplomatic approach. What did they achieve? Nothing. It tells you that Nigerian current establishment does not respect you coming through diplomacy. If you are not ready to fight, they don't give a damn about you. They don't even respect you. Let us talk about the Biafra. The Biafra has been a fight that has lasted and is still ongoing, by the way, for over 50-something years. Initially, Ojukwu went for diplomacy when they went to the Aburi in Ghana. They all agreed. Gowon was there. Everybody was to have agreed that, yes, we will go back. Everybody will have what we call regionalism. We focus on our resources. We focus on our territory. We have our own police. We have our own security apparatus. We have our own monetary and fiscal policies that defines our region. But the colonial masters infiltrated that agreement. Because Nigeria never fought for its freedom. They just said, call on Gowon, don't try it. Of course, with the support of Awolowo, don't try that nonsense. You guys have not gotten your freedom. We can invade and conquer you guys again. If you let those guys go, everybody will be captured again. So instead of everybody to be captured, let us capture the Igbos. And this is as a result of how Nigeria got its supposedly freedom, which was never fought for. You don't bargain for it, you fight. Then you now come from the point of strength. Yes, you come for the point of strength. So many can look at South Africa. South Africa fought and fought and fought before they could get their freedom. Even though we say that South African freedom is not 100%, but we saw them fighting, right? So many other African countries. Look at Algeria. We saw how Algeria resisted France for a very long time. We saw how Egypt resisted France for a very long time. We can see in the recent times how Senegal, Burkina, Mali are resisting France. So the obedience, the Sowore, and the common Nigerians, Biafrans, we must fight the current establishment. If we must move forward, we said we want a new Nigeria. We said we want a Nigeria whereby it is called an egalitarian society, where there is equitable share of resources and wealth. That will not come on a platter. It will not be handed over to us. We have to fight for it. So we have to be very, very meticulous and wise in our approach. If you go into another election, you carry your gentlemanliness or your gentility. And maybe this time I could. No, the Fulanis, they are not ready. And until you are ready to dance to the tune and the drum of the Fulanis, will they see you as a political ally? This is why you see that the Yorubas have always been a political ally with the Fulanis, because the Fulanis have always been able to maneuver The Yorubas, look at the way they are maneuvering Tinubu. Why do you think Tinubu has not released Nnamdi Kanu? It is simple because they have given him a mandate. If you release that guy, nothing for you. Will frustrate you out. Look at what they are doing to Tinubu about the tax reform. It has been withdrawn. Tinubu is just trying to give excuse, trying to play the, the poor man hardliner, trying to say that no, we are Oga, that tax reform will not pass because the people whom the colonial masters have given the key of Nigeria to the Fulani said no. So we have to agree. We have to come to that conclusion that we must fight. It is not going to be gotten by diplomacy because you don't bargain with bullies. You don't. That is your own greatest undoing. Person they match you. Come tell us, Oga, abeg, no match me again. Oga, abeg, no match me for this hand. Abeg, give me break. He will give you a break, but when he's just angry, you just pass the aggression back to you. So at this stage, I think we need to fight. We need to come to that common agreement that Nigeria must be safe and diplomacy is not the way out. Thank you.